Coming up on this special edition of Real Garbage, Jeff and Tyler talk about crossing the Atlantic.
Even if there were still coal ships floating around to this day, there would be a conveyor that was feeding it or something, some other thing, not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jeff and Tyler talk about proper fight technique.
Looping
punches.
Looping shots. It's like, you got nothing on that. Stiff jab, baby. Come on.
Jeff and Tyler talk about Jean-Claude Van Damme's buns.
His ass winked at me, I think. Wink. Wink.
And then Jeff and Tyler talk about fighting a good-looking man. I don't know if I want to fight you or you. Both. All that's coming up on this episode of Real Garbage. But first, here's a quick word from our fake sponsors.
Brought to you by guys with open shirts in the 90s. Top buttons didn't stand up. Chance.
This episode is also brought to you by cocaine, creative fuel of the 90s. This is Real Garbage. All right, we're in. We're live. And we're live.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We are back. How long was I on? When was the last time I was on? Like 2 years ago or something stupid.
We did trading paint at Christmas. No, it wasn't Christmas.
Was it this Christmas or previous? Like
2018 Christmas?
Is it 2018? I don't remember.
That was the last. I came here. That was early episode. No, it wasn't trading paint though.
No, we did trading.
We did trading paint in the summer. Last summer.
Okay, that was in the summer. Okay, that's what I'm mixing out. Okay,
I think it was when I was home for my cousin's wedding.
But it was like around Christmas 2018. Was that when you would have started stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were only 9 episodes in. 10 episodes in.
That's what it was.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. What's changed? Nothing.
Coffee's great.
Yeah.
Nothing. White chocolate mocha.
Yeah. So I guess I'm unaware of the format of your show now. Do we immediately discuss the awful movie, or do we talk about it? I'm even forgetting it as we speak, even though I thought I liked the movie.
What exactly is your show about?
What is this podcasting I hear about? Do you know Joe Rogan?
Have you done DMT?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you have any elk meat?
You ever tried DMT?
Would you like some?
You want to do some peyote? Got these mushrooms. No,
we are. There is CBD in the coffee, though, so we're close to being a true podcast. But
nice.
This is brought to you by CBDMD.
CBD infused coffee
everything.
cream.
CBD everything.
You
jerks.
You got a headache? Put some CBD on it. Yes. Broke your leg? CBD.
It's like the old Chris Rock joke for Robitussin. Our generation is fucking CBD. You just rub CBD in the wound. Hey, Mango, get away from that water. Son of a bitch.
It was a matter of time.
Well, I was like, oh yeah, she'll do that. Yeah, if she can get her face into a glass of water.
Just don't sit on my notes, cat.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want him to be shitty or anything. Stupid.
No, my shoulders are killing me right now. Went and shot like
I
think 250 rounds in my sister's boyfriend's shotgun.
Yeah, you Snapchatted me. What was that? Was that your brother's wife shooting?
Yep.
I was expecting like a fail. Like a
fail
compilation of her just popping herself in the face.
There were a few misses, but she got it and she ended up going 3 for 3 at the end.
Well, I meant more just like the gun popping back.
It was funny though. Every shot she would go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That was fun though. But yeah, I haven't shot a gun in 6 years. Shotgun?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's been a long time for me. Yeah, I don't even remember. I'm trying to think the last time I would have actually shot the gun. I think I've been around it. Yeah, I don't even know. It's been a long time.
It was that time we almost blew Scott's head off.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was accidental.
But you guys are always done. I never cared about guns a whole lot.
Tried bow hunting. I think I told you about the time I stabbed myself with a deer antler.
Oh, okay.
First time.
Not just one finger.
No.
Like in this movie. That's where it just reminded me of that finger scene.
At least I used my other hand to pull it out. I didn't just yell in the top of a tree. I was like, what?
The movie, he was like, he held it against the post. It was like, one finger.
That was in the opening fight scene, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we should, since we're already talking the movie, I guess we should, what was it called? Lionheart.
But we'll be right back after this quick fake commercial break.
Oh, right. On to that.
I figure by this time we can make another one.
Or just people.
And we're back!
Oh, that was
Z105.
The morning zoo in Brandon, Manitoba. And nobody cares. Is anybody listening to us right now? No. Nobody is. If they are
asleep.
If they are, they're in a soulless existence. They can't hear the words I'm saying right now. Because I'm
good
living.
night.
I'm living that same hell.
Lionheart. Okay.
I chose this movie because I wanted Van Damme, and when I became aware that Jean-Claude had written some of this movie, or at least has a writing credit on this movie, I'm like, I think we better watch this one and pay attention to his to the plot and everything, and just see if we can pick up Van Damme. And it was quite easy to pick up, as I said, what he thought other races were like. It just seemed like it was it's like how he imagined they talked is how they talked, right? Black guy said sucker.
Named Joshua.
Mexicans say essay, like it was just all the very stereotypical. He's like, yeah, this is how they Mexican talk.
His taste in music. Choosing an orchestra to be the background sound of your action movie seems kind of...
It sounded like they were like behind the camera doing it live. Like that's what they're like, and react. Yeah.
I love watching them with the subtitles just because of that descriptive titles for the music.
What was that? The one I liked? It was near the start when he first got to the States. I know I'm skipping ahead, but I just remember it saying there's a subtitle and it was like all clamoring, and I just is the subtitle supposed to tell me how the extras feel? Like I never
crowd cheering and whistling.
Well, cheering I can hear. Is clamoring noise though? I guess clamoring is noise. That's what I was like. Because cheering is actual noise, but is clamoring? What is clamoring? I think clamoring
feels like is when you're talking all the time at the same time you're talking over each other.
Is it?
I think it is.
I just think of clamoring.
Everyone's clamoring to get the attention.
clamoring
like you got clammings.
I'm clamoring to get in.
Look at him clamoring over there.
So
clamoring.
That's why I was like, is it a noise? I thought we only needed noises written out to us, not.
I was just thinking if
not
we know
and emotions.
They're cheering. Do we need to know they're whistling and hooting and hollering?
I guess it would.
Were they just cheering, or were they like they were hooting?
It would fill you into the attitude of the crowd, I suppose.
Woo!
Are they marking out, or are they
and mark?
Well, that's what it is. They're all squash matches for JC. There's nothing.
Ridiculous.
Nothing was hard. Everything was easy, except the last one, kind of.
For the first 3/4 of it,
fight, the main boss fight, I suppose. Yeah, it's like every Jean-Claude Van Damme movie is a freaking video game. The way it's like staging up. It's like level 1, he's just like, yeah, and he just kicks them once and they fall down.
You win.
And the next it's just a little bit more each time, and then you get taken down a notch or you get injured. Yeah, it's always the same story.
Well, he triumphs and then meets his match, gets beaten, and then gets filled with the need to win again, and then fights the guy, gets beaten up for a while, and then comes back. Always comes back. Like, make him think you're weak when you're strong.
and he's the worst actor at like looking like he's beat up. Like every time when there's like a scene with him like limping, he's just like he looks like he's like pretending to be like a wounded animal, and it's like it's like an acting exercise at acting school that he's the teacher at or something.
Welcome to Jean-Claude Van Damme's acting school, taught by Jean-Claude. They will learn how to play, Jean-Claude.
Here's your 6 lines of cocaine, and
we'll get started.
And your 6 lines of dialogue, and get started.
Now I need $300 so I can pay the drug dealer for this A-ball. Then we'll get started. I mentioned we'll get started. Okay, do you want to tell the listeners and viewers what this movie is about?
Oh, I didn't even write it down what it was about. Essentially,
no, I never do.
It's. I'll tell you what I think it's about.
Yeah.
I think Jean-Claude is in the French military in North Africa, probably raping and pillaging the locals, we would imagine. But he was building a fence, and he was the only guy with the cute hat. Everybody else had like the mean French hats. The stove, just the small stovepipe hat.
Not the beret. The beret sounds fun.
Yeah, the beret sounds better. But he again, I'd ask you. I'm like, when did we find these things out? And he's like, oh, it was right at the start. His brother is in a drug deal and gets lit on fire.
Yeah, that's the opening scene.
The drug dealers are never brought up again, are they? We don't know who the drug dealers. They're not part of it. That's what I was going to say. That's one thing I forgot to ask when we were watching it. I'm like, do we ever meet these people again? Or like I always kind of presume like those French guys chasing him later
the
were
Legionnaires.
The Legionnaire military police, whatever they are that hunt these. What do they call it when you abandon military?
Deserter.
Deserter. Yeah, they're chasing the deserter, right? So, anyways, yeah. So he finds out his brother's got all burnt up or he's dying. I think he wasn't dead yet, was he?
Yeah, he ends up dead when he gets there because we don't know how long it took him.
Why the f- even do that? Why just kill him? Just why isn't he dead from the first bit? But I guess it gets Jean-Claude there quickly. Like if he thinks he's alive
on a ship from North Africa,
even though
to
we have no
New
concept
York.
of time at any point in this movie, we don't know how long it took to do anything. So yeah, he finds out his brother's in the hospital and is going to run to get there, but he can't leave the military because he'll get charged as a deserter and go to jail. Blah blah. So he runs. They chase him immediately, and I don't think that's kind of how it works. Well, I think they have to figure out that you've actually ran first. I don't know if they would immediately be on the chase. So he runs down that beach in his military fatigues. Scene, end scene. Next scene, he's working on a boat shoveling coal, and the same dudes that were chasing him down the beach are now at this port in North Africa. And then he gets on the boat. He's in America. Yeah, I think he's immediately in America.
We don't know how long. Okay, so we were discussing.
And he did use pocket sand before. Yeah, when he was trying to run, I just remember he hit the ground. He's like, "Nah."
They were trying to put him in the sweat box.
Oh right, the sweat box.
Get that sweat box.
Yeah, and that was just for him asking to leave, right?
Yeah, because he said, "My brother's been badly burned. I need to go home and see him." They're like,
"You need to be taught a lesson."
And then this German commander that's in charge of him.
Oh right, German. It's like, why did he write? Who cast this? Why is there German guys in the French military? It's it's the 80s. It's not the 1940s or some weird or late after the war thing. I don't know. It was weird.
I'm sure Van Damme did so much cocaine while he was writing this.
Well, it is told the consistency of the plot and everything is about on par with somebody high on cocaine telling you a story.
Just full of himself too. Full of himself.
It never actually goes anywhere. It just
jumps. It jumps from one thing to another.
It's what's the point? They just keep telling you the next story immediately, right?
Starting break this down. You're supposed to do the gist of the movie, and you're like, now we're here.
Well, I don't know what to do. Sorry.
Just say he fights to
I didn't write very good notes.
Fights to pay off his sister's medical bills. So yeah.
That's why I'm so manic, is because it's just
this movie got you hyped up.
It never fills you in on anything, so it's all about
why did this end? Why is it starting?
Yeah, it just it barely tells you that that's what's going on.
Well, it felt like two movies in one. So so he starts. Yeah, he escapes, gets on that boat, shows up in this fight, and then the second part of the movie is now he doesn't know who killed his brother. And then he just moves on to, I'm just going to keep fighting to pay these bills now.
Yeah.
It's two different stories.
That's why I'm getting lost.
Why?
Because that's what the movie should have been about, is going after the drug dealers.
Yes. But it was almost like the doc was like, hey, I got another curveball for you.
Did we completely miss something that maybe his brother was fighting too or something and he died?
From the beginning.
Or was involved with those people?
All we saw from his, they never allude to that either.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm did we miss that? Did it happen somewhere? Or was that supposed to happen?
I wouldn't put it past her because she's pretty dirtbaggy with the underground
that's what
fighting.
I'm did I miss the scene where she's some sort of drug kingpin chick or something?
I don't think so. But all we get from his brother is he's like, these drugs are shit. And he's like, oh yeah, they're shit. Now you're going to burn. The guy didn't bring any backup. He's just by himself at a drug deal surrounded by a gang. Assaults them
carrying gas cans.
Yeah.
They had jerry cans.
Just the gas can, fellas.
Try this cocaine and see what you think. It sucks. Fuck you. And then you just pour gas on him, right? It's what the
It's ridiculous.
And that was the opening scene, so now I understand why I was having trouble getting anywhere.
Yeah. Hold on, you're giving it all away. Then that's when we cut, and he's building the fence by himself outside, pounding in a post. Right. There's no indication of what the post is for. Gets this letter, stabs his delivery guy. Stabs the letter out of his hand. I thought he stabbed him. I thought he actually stabbed it, hit his leg or something.
I thought it was in the crotch.
Oh, I might have
missed him. He circumcised him in that scene. You just didn't see it. You had circumcised. I can't do the JCD.
Shalom, shalom. Whatever they say.
I can't do his accent and say that word, it seems.
Shalom, shalom. Yeah, escapes, gets on that. So, the jumping through time was messing us up. We had to go back.
Did he immediately try to run when he got
remember,
that letter?
He drove that Jeep. So they're going to put him in the sweatbox.
This is
He
literally
fought
like
everybody.
an hour ago, like 2 hours ago. I'm like, what happened to him?
They're trying to put him in the
so
sweatbox.
bad.
He does the pocket sand. Fights those
Pocket
guys.
sand.
Guns are coming out. The guys are like, hold on, it's not my turn yet. I'm just going to wait. And then, like, okay, it's my turn. Everyone's fighting one at a time. Classic Van Damme style. Gets in a Jeep. He slows down for that dude. And he jumps on and then throws an elbow in his
He's
face.
like,
And blasts through the fence.
What is up? Get in. And the guy's like, I'm here to get you. He's like, all right.
Blasts through the fence and he's gone. And the German guy's like, get me a Jeep. Why was that dude German?
I still don't know why anybody was German. Because there were a bunch of them were kind of German, it seemed like.
It's just like, it was maybe, I don't know. Van Damme made some weird choices in the story. And like as we see. So yeah, he's running through the desert.
The cocaine made the choices, brother.
I don't remember writing this movie. Lionheart.
That sounded like a Van Damme macho man right there.
Ooh. Ooh, I never knew I wrote this. Yeah. Roundhouse kick. The cocaine. Wrote the opening, yeah.
Like a lion.
Lionheart. Fighting on the bridges, yeah.
Good guys. I got a heart. Lionheart.
You can tell
Makes sense.
when the music changes. That you
yeah.
know he's a good
That
guy.
was another point to make about the movie is like how the music tells you exactly what's happening.
It's like
Kind of.
if you can't follow the story, just listen for the music because
It was like old Planet of the Apes. Now that I'm like, because we were trying to think of what it was like, I'm like, it's like old Planet of the Apes, like dlan dlan.
I felt like LA Noir, like a 1960s mystery cop
At
show.
moments, yes.
Saxophone.
do do do.
Okay, all right. So
When did that comes up soon? The jazz.
that's
dance
like I got
bang.
it 3/4 of the way down this page. So
Yeah, that-
now, he escapes.
Yeah,
blah,
that was
blah,
on the
blah.
next page. So that's when he gets to when he's in New York early.
Hold on, let's not skip past this ridiculous shot. He gets caught on a boat that he's trying to escape on. The guy's like, "Get down below and shovel that coal." The next
still-
shot is him shirtless, just
Oh,
like
right.
he hasn't even shoveled yet. He opens the thing. He's already shirtless and just sweaty, just like he just did 100 push-ups and then just systematic, like, all right, scoop and throw and scoop. Hey, yeah.
What ships are still being driven by a manually coal-fired thing? They would have a conveyor. Even if there were still coal ships floating around to this day, there would be a conveyor that was feeding it or something, some other thing, not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We need more dogs. More dogs.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's Zoolander, right?
Merman.
Man, Dad, shovel coal. Yeah, but that was
then
so ridiculous.
How long does it take to get from North Africa on a ship to New York?
9,000 scoops of coal, apparently.
Even his hair and his beard, though. You remarked that he was clean shaven
Oh,
when he fought the captain, and
he had 5 o'clock shadow once, and it was barely Eddie.
Haircut perfect.
Eyebrows perfectly groomed, like they're squared up, like on his face.
So before he finds that fight, he does a lonely guy walk through the streets, slow dissolves, 2 buttons undone.
Oh yeah. This
buttons
is all
undone.
the
And
shirt. I forgot.
And
about
he's looking all right, and then a minute later, the next shot, he's like,
But it's a button-up shirt, and it's like he's like cinching up this little area that he's had unbuttoned. It's like, just do the buttons up. Like the buttons appear to be still attached, so why can't you?
it's how you close the shirt, Jean-Claude. Just
like,
do the buttons
How
up.
the does this thing work? Well, the rest of your shirt is buttoned, so just like follow the same rules applied to those ones. It'll work.
He was just going through the cocaine sweats, I'm sure, between takes. All right, we've mopped him up. He's like, I am warm. I'm going to unbutton my shirt. Like, Jean-Claude, please, no. It's already been buttoned up. I'm going to unbutton it. Oh, it's so hot out there. And then the next
so
shot
cold.
is...
Yeah, and that was it. It would just be walking down the street like normal, like unbuttoned shirt, like do, and then it would zoom in on a close shot, and he'd be like,
It was as he turned and looked and saw some homeless people. Like they did it. They totally missed it because he's this unbuttoned, and then it cuts to this angle. He's Then back to this.
Heaters and fans on him all day trying to keep him happy.
I can go to my trailer.
The devil's dandruff.
And then he finds the first fight. And he shows up, and this is where he's like, oh, there's found an underground fighting ring. And who's going to fight next? And he's like, oh, I'll fight.
Is this where he punches the guy in the nuts, or who does he fight?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
This is
That
the
is
nut
the
punch
first
fight.
fight. Yeah, yeah. Was that... Yeah, okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. That was right after this.
That was the next fight. That was the next fight where he meets like the rich people, kind of, right?
Yes. So he fights this guy he beats this guy up, and then that's when he gives him the name the Lion. Then they go to a diner. It was it was Debo.
Oh, it was Debo. Yes, Debo. Yeah, it was Debo. Okay, yeah.
He's the biggest guy in the parking lot. Who's he going to fight? Sorry, guys, I'm late. What's happening?
Right. See, 2 hours ago, and it's a complete blank. That's how awful it is.
That's why I make notes.
Well, I even read my notes. I'm like, I don't remember this.
Who wrote these?
Who wrote these notes? They're crazy.
So, yes, now they're in the diner, and this is when Joshua is like, well, you want to go to L.A., brother? You want to go to L.A., man? Hey, brother. Hey, bro.
And I assume they told us that the brother family was in L.A. at some point. Again, even with subtitles on, I did not.
Yeah,
It seemed like him writing it, there's just he's like, I don't know what's going on.
He's skipping, the subtitles are skipping sentences. Wait, did he say something
There's
different?
palm trees. They'll know we're in Los Angeles.
Yeah, shit. If you weren't paying attention, it was that easy. You're just like,
because even New York looked kind of like L.A. in the first scene. And even when I saw the credits at the end, it did say it was only shot in Los Angeles and Phoenix or something, I think, like Arizona. Yeah, exactly. It's Kitchen Maniac.
Send a maniac to catch one.
Oh yeah, to catch one.
So then now it's and then he says, hey, I'm going to show you what some real fights are, brother. Like this guy, it was like they told Joshua, just be as black as you can. Like Van Damme was like, I want you to say bro, man, brother, sucker at the end of every sentence. It was like, yeah, we know you've established this buddy relationship with him already.
And a lot of mother flippers as well.
So yeah, this is where Nut Punch happens because there's a dude fighting in a leather vest.
So yeah, right. Okay, so he does meet the mean dance group after the rich fight because he's like, I have enough money now to go to LA.
Yeah, I can use that phone too.
I'll use this phone.
Nobody will stop me. Just cheap shots this dude in this underground parkade fight,
and Blatant just like grabs him and just like rah, just like punches him right in the junk. Take that! I'm the greatest martial artist ever. And then he glares that he like picks on that dude in the crowd.
Some little wimpy guy's like, I'd fight this guy.
You want a piece of me too, you fruitcake?
Yeah, bring it, you and me. You and me, come on! Come on!
Don't you see how tough I am?
They're like, hey, bro, easy.
Just demolish this guy.
Next thing we know, we're in Fashion Lady's limo with him.
All right.
And she's like, don't you ever embarrass me. Ever again. You fight for me.
She looks like the chick from Happy Gilmore, because he's fighting about her.
No, it's not her. Like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm like, no, that's
she's in this movie.
She's a Modern Family. I don't think so.
She's in this movie, too. It kind of looked like her old school looking from a distance. Wasn't her, though.
To me, it looked like Dolores from... Westworld, yes.
But she did have the best... The whole budget of this movie went to her dress... Her wardrobe and Jean-Claude's cocaine budget were the entire budget of this movie.
Budget's $8 million. These movies were making bank, though.
We were going to do... did you say this one made movie or which one? Hard Target made movie?
I think it might have been this one was the $6 million budget and $24 million at the box office.
To me, as like in business, I'm like, I would take that as a profit on it. Even if...
huge.
Yeah, seems like a good profit on a movie.
$18 million.
Yeah, because margins on stuff's like 20, 40%. It's like a good range. That's like...
This was the 90s,
huge
too.
money, yeah.
That's like $24 million in the 90s, man. But I remember, I loved these movies. I really did.
The reason I would that's why when we did it, I was like, I just remember going like Clemenson's 5 for $5, baby. Let's
you want those tubes of popcorn and a couple boxes of chips.
Yeah, one of those big, you've been eating it for the whole weekend. You're just a mess on Sunday. There's like popcorn crumbs everywhere in the couch and shit.
Old Dutch boxes.
Watching Lionheart for the 4th time.
Because you only have a stack of Van Damme movies.
Because you only have 2 channels that come in on Farmer Vision.
Sometimes we get channel 21 at night.
And it's French, so it's dumb. Like, we don't even like it, those damn Frenchies.
It'd be titties after 11 sometimes.
Oh, yeah. The French CBC was more likely to have, like, artsy nudity on in the middle of the night, right?
Oh, peasant vision.
Bush.
We got Bush!
That's Revenge of the Nerds or something, is it? Isn't that
no, it's not Animal. Is it Animal House?
it might be Animal House.
We
It's one of
got
those movies. They announced Bush a lot more back in the day.
Okay, so yeah, now they're in the limo, and she's like, "You're gonna fight for me now. I can get you a lot of money. You can get to L.A.
Stop the car.
Stop the car." Who tells someone to stop a car? Stop the car. From the freeway, like on the highway.
We're in Harlem. I said, stop the car.
Stop the car.
I think they are probably in Harlem based on what happened.
Careful, there's jazz bands around here. You in the wrong hood, homie.
We don't take too kindly to your types around here.
Butterfly blades.
Fucking them. I'm bad. Music video starts. I heard this is Michael Jackson's choreographer.
But he just puts all these guys up one at a time. You think back now how awesome these movies were, and then you watch them now, and everyone just waited for their turn to fight them. Like, it's not that impressive when you're just...
Well, and we joked even just like watching MMA now. You're like, well, this is stupid because you wouldn't just
shoot for the double leg.
Yeah.
Get him into side control, mount him, pound him.
Get your legs wide, block it, get a stiff jab.
Trap that arm when he throws that jab.
Calf kicks to the knee.
Chop him down.
Yeah, I was just yelling about that one dude. I'm like, chop him down. What are you doing?
It's all headshots.
Yeah, all hooks, looping
punches.
Looping shots. I was like, you got nothing on that. Stiff jab, baby. Come on.
Why is he throwing it like a paw? And you're like, because he's a lion. Bro.
Yeah, because but I was thinking of, not that I like watch his movies often. I'm like, when has he ever thrown like a pawing punch? It's like it must be in his mind that he's like, I'm a lion. Because I'm like, I don't think he's ever thrown punches like that.
It's always looping. And he was throwing them in this one. Haymaker, telegraph
haymakers, and telegraph like triple roundhouses in a row.
Jumping reverse. Like, who starts with spinning back kick?
Yeah.
It's risky.
I will set them up with a spinning back kick. It's like, that's not how a setup works, man. But this is that Frank Ducks choreography, right? Ducks. He's like, I'll stop him with my mind. That's awful. Sorry, we're still in New York. It's a ridiculous movie. I love it though. I'm so happy to watch it, and I was so excited for Van Damme to be awful. It was awesome.
He finishes off his last night in New York by beating up this jazz gang, then it's like transition to L.A. Palm trees. It's smoggy. Because the guy was like, "How are you going to run in the smog?" Joshua was asking him. He's like, "Oh."
Well, I was going to say they had horrible. We made fun of that club that had the weird apostrophe S that I thought was just an odd choice.
It's because he talks.
Because I think that was in New York.
Well, okay, right after this, though, he goes to the doctor first, and that's when he finds out his brother's dead, and that's when he's like, "This is the turning point for this movie." Did you ever find out who did it? And then he's like, "No, sorry, we didn't." And then it's like, "Okay, I'm going to go visit his wife and kid."
And that was the doctor. It wasn't like he was talking to a cop, was
it? No, it was just the doctor. The doc.
Listen, doc.
You didn't do any detective work.
Yeah,
why did I know?
The doctor's like, well, we looked into everything, and we...
Cops are like, your brother's dead, sorry. We did an autopsy. It's like, why would you do one?
We think it was a suicide.
We see self-conflagrations all the time.
He was on fire at the docks. With like bullets around him and cocaine. It was a suicide, definitely.
Suicide, doc.
He's alive and talking.
Yeah, the doctor's like, no, they didn't catch him.
Well, maybe the doctor's like sarcastic, like, I don't know.
Yeah. How would I know that?
I know he died horribly, burned to death, the worst way you could die, except unless they drowned him right before he died from burning.
And then, oh, by the way, sir, here's a massive medical bill that your sister racked up.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's like, and about this bill. This shit ain't free, bro.
After this, he went. This is where he goes to visit. He goes and hunts down his because Buddy shows him how to find that address, and that's when he goes and sees Nicole, who's kicking a soccer ball on the stairs for some odd reason,
right.
Because the landlord's upstairs screaming at the mom.
Yeah.
And she comes downstairs. She goes, "I'm not supposed to talk to strangers," and he's like, "Hi." And she's like, "My name's Nicole.
My name is Jean-Claude."
He's talking to her in French. She's like, "Huh?"
Yeah, and then he's like that. Yeah, he introduces himself. I don't think he tells her he's the uncle, but he says he's whatever his name. What's his fucking name in the movie? Even
Leon.
Leon. Oh yeah, it's Lion. It's Lion. It's the easiest. Yeah, of course.
I'm a lion.
I won't forget that.
Just paw punches her. And then she's like,
And
yeah,
he's
we're friends.
Now we know each other's name and we are friends.
It was
That's
like
how.
she was trying to fish, like, she's the predator. She's like, now we're friends,
Yeah,
dude.
sorry, I keep forgetting words when they prep, like when a predator's prepping somebody to deal with it, like whatever. There's a name for it when they're like training them to be cool with like, now we're friends because we know each other's name and setting them up for down the road. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, girl.
And then the landlord screaming. He's like, "You deadbeats are the reason I can't fix the elevator in this place." What is this? The Big Bang Theory apartment building?
Kind of looked like it.
Because that's in LA, isn't it?
Probably.
And their elevator never worked the entire series.
Oh shit!
Of Big Bang Theory.
It's all connected.
Sheldon. You can hear it in the background.
Everything happened in this movie so fast. So we're at a bar next. And he gets hammered. They have one shot. They're like, man, we're going to figure it out. And he's like, I got to go make a phone call. And then he gets winked at by this old lady. And all of a sudden, he's getting dragged outside faced. And then he gets thrown in the limo. And he's like, Joshua's like, check it out. I made arrangements. And And this is where they go to the St. James's club.
Is that when they go to? And there's no clear reason like how he got any of that stuff. He's like, I'll just make a call. And all of a sudden,
I'm guessing he called.
And everybody at the bar was like looking at them when they left. Remember, like they were all like,
oh yeah, like there was like a crowd standing around the limo.
It's like they were there for Jean-Claude, but
maybe it just happened on the street. They're like, man, maybe that's just.
Or maybe they thought the black guy was Apollo from Rocky.
Get in there, Rock. Not the same character at all.
God damn it, that's what it was. He was Apollo Creed. This was a remake of Rocky 2. Jean-Claude watched Rocky 2 on cocaine and then he wrote this movie. That's what happened.
We could get a conspiracy going for damn sure. So this is okay. So he wakes up. Now he's in his hotel room and Cynthia's there because that's who Joshua called.
Oh, right.
Because then she's having a little workout on the old Bowflex.
So
1000.
that means they flew to LA too.
So because did he meet them in New York?
Yeah, that was New York where they were at.
Right, in the limo.
Yeah.
So she must travel for work.
But again, the only reason we know they're in LA is because there's palm trees.
And smog.
I guess.
It showed smog on the...
I guess, true enough. Yeah. Then the skyline.
And he did remark, he's like, well, how are you going to run in the smog?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and when they're in the limo and he's like, we going to LA. Like, they should have been like, we going to LA. Just to make sure we knew. So yeah, this is where
they should have had 80s saxophone and then show the plane taking off and landing. They should have had a scene on the plane with Jean-Claude hitting on the flight attendant.
With some cocaine.
Yeah. Thank you. Like there definitely should have been flirting happening on there.
It's probably in the director's cut.
And bum, like looking at some 80s
the next
flight
scene,
attendant bun. I know.
We get to see some side boob
and long butt.
Some side boob.
and
some 80s long ass.
Long butt and some high crotch.
And you're like,
weird.
I wonder if we're gonna get Jean-Claude Van Damme buns in this.
I said, how long until we get like a solid bun shot?
48 minutes and 23 seconds.
40 minutes. And it was all buns. It wasn't just like one cheek from the side. It was like just squared up.
Tanned.
Yes.
Like totally tanned.
Squared up and just like flexing on us, right? Like just like,
they had a squat rack right here. He just stepped off after doing like the second set of 12.
His ass winked at me, I think. Wink. Yeah, and even she was right before that almost naked, like trying to fuck him, wasn't she?
She was crawling into his bed
because his clothes were gone.
Naked.
Yeah. His clothes were gone.
You burned my clothes.
And I guess he was drunk. Yeah. She burnt his clothes.
No he was hammered. No hangover. Looked fresh. No bags under his eyes. Just what's going on?
And he didn't know he was naked, but he's in like the silkiest sheets you've ever seen. It's like, dude, you'd be like sliding off the
holy shit, this feels so good.
What are my clothes? I didn't even notice.
And then we get a perfect 90s clothing shopping montage.
Oh, right. And it was all him like he wasn't even like he was going like he was literally like him being upset about clothes was just like looking back all the time like huh.
Well, there she stood, all crying round. She saw my shadow. She turned around.
And then they could have framed this from like the waist up, and she could have walked in, but instead they decided to shoot it from the top down.
That was now even as you're saying it, it was an unplanned shot. I bet they're in there, and Jean-Claude's like, how can we get a good, like, outline of my cock?
Shut up my penis without it being out.
We got to make this a PG movie. I want the ratings. But how can we do this? And they're like, well, we can do it this way. It's like, how about you climb on top of here with the camera and shoot my cock from here, and I will lean back with these little tiny whitey banana hammock on. Let me chub up a little bit here.
The skimpiest underwear.
Give me a picture of myself. Where's that scene with my butt?
That's his phone
Why don't you
background.
just jerk off to your own ass or something? The old Haggard movie, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was
Ridiculous.
It was beautiful though. Well done.
It was tasteful.
Well done.
She walks in there.
Imagine.
And just,
I thought of it as we were saying it too. Imagine the times like we may never get this era of movies again, where like a guy like Van Damme can just recklessly make garbage, and people are like, want more. They're like, yeah, we'll do Hard Target next. Lionheart was great. We loved it. Here's $10 million. Make another one for us, please. And he's just like doing cocaine and jerking off to himself in movie.
I don't know if I want to fight you or fuck you. Both.
Yeah, it's just like we may never get somebody as like it's like Seagal, and that's another. You did Seagal movies, right?
We have not.
You've
I have
not
not
done any?
introduced Katie into Seagal's world. I told her a couple movies back.
Did you do it in the early ones?
Nope.
I thought you did like one Seagal movie.
Nope. None. Never done a Seagal movie. So it's
yeah.
it's on the list.
But anyways, we're
Yeah. So the blah blah blah. Oh yeah. So this was a little transition here. This was fucked up. You had to pause it when I was in the bathroom because there was a long shot.
And one other thing was like in the montage, shopping montage, the patterns in the 90s for clothes, man. Like, what is happening? Like, it reminds me of all the backdrops we had for school pictures.
Ooh,
remember like laser beams and
pink and
crazy
blue,
jagged
pink and blue
things,
lasers.
and even like the decals that were on cars. Do you remember the interiors in the 90s Dodge Neons? Like, they had the weirdest, like same thing. Like, it was like shapes, like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like weird colors, and
geometric shapes, different
Yeah,
colors,
just weird.
pink and
it
teal.
looked like a kid's playroom cushions or something in a car. And I'm like, what were we on? Like they must have been on. I'm sure when they look back on history, they'll like test the food and stuff we're on, and it'll all be like related to the chemicals we develop that are in everything, and all the drugs we take is what influences all these weird design eras.
Probably.
Because that was a horrible time for just fashion or stuff.
Sun Ice jacket. Now you had a Sun Ice jacket, right?
I don't
One
think I
you
read
could like
Sun Ice.
roll
I never
up
had
into
any.
a pouch and wear it as a fanny pack.
I might have had something like that. I remember having like a Miami Hurricanes leather coat that was too big for me because it was like a hand-me-down, but it was a big like, college and had a big hurricane. I think whatever the Hurricanes they had they had some sort of a duck or something like that. That was their mascot. There was some sort of thing on it. And it was like big motherfucker. It was a pullover and it just stunk because it was like a greasy leather. It's a cardigan. But thanks for asking.
I had a Charlotte Hornets.
Oh yeah, I remember you having a Charlotte Hornets when we were kids.
White and green giant Hornet logo. Like what? Starter jackets.
Starter
That's
baby.
what that was.
Starter hats.
Starter hats. Bugle Boy jeans.
Bugle Boy.
Bugle Boy. Check out the patches, ladies.
Yeah, what were the big shoes I remember? Yeah, they'll come to me another day. But there's other
All right.
stuff.
So we get this long ass shot where she's walking her kid to school. It zooms out. The music is just nice and playful. Then all of a sudden, ominous music playing, and there's a Legionnaire hanging out the window.
Like the weirdest. Like, why would you be like? Yeah, it was like around a
Whole
corner
body out
hanging
the
out the
window.
window, and you're like, why wouldn't you
Like,
just?
just your head. Just your head.
Why don't
tiny.
you have the tools to deal with this? You have like a mirror on a stick. They know how to do it in prison to see around the
And
corner, right?
This is the thing. She doesn't know she's being watched by anybody. So she's not suspicious of someone just looking out the window. But he's got half his body out the window with a pair of
It's
binoculars.
like Planet of the Apes suspense. You know, it's like do 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 do.
And then-
and then blun, blun, blun.
and then right back to.
And then the next scene. This is like maybe my favorite, like what the fuck moment of the whole movie is Jean-Claude is being followed by the Legionnaires, and so is like his niece and brother's wife. And then they get to the school, and Jean-Claude's like hide behind a tree, and we're watching, and we're like, oh, okay. So he's making sure he's got there, and he's like, phew, they made it to school all safe. Now I can spend the rest of the day by myself. But then also we notice that there's like a cop with a gun drawn behind him in the scenery, and there's like 4 black guys all with hands on their head, and we're like, what is going on here? Why is this happening? And then we rewind it to see if we missed something, but nope,
Both shots.
Just right in front of the elementary school, there appears to be
Police officer with a gun drawn. Kids are still being dropped off at school across the street. They will never see me here because they're being distracted.
I've planted drugs on these black guys and called the police, so they distract them while I'm here.
He just threw cocaine at them.
But there was no reason that had to be there. Besides, maybe we're supposed to, like, it seems like a choice by Jean-Claude.
Absolutely. It felt like he was like...
We know the neighborhood's bad already, right? We don't have to, we can see it by the way they film the neighborhood, that it is not like a high-end suburban neighborhood.
Guys,
we get it. But they have to show, like, right in front of the elementary school, get on the ground! Like, it's basically just like...
Just cut away, they're getting beaten.
Yeah.
Holy, right in front of the kids.
But
Have a good day at school, honey.
in these times, it shows you
1990.
Well, it shows you like the racism even then. It was just like Jean-Claude's like, we better make sure we have the cops arresting black people in this bad neighborhood. That will be right there, right now. And this would have been around the time of like the riots and stuff. Like if it was 90, was that what year this movie was made? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I can't remember what year. Like I think the riots were like later, 92 or something like that. Probably Rodney King riots and stuff.
It was 91. But
It might have been right around that time, but it's like no wonder because it was just assumed. It's like, oh yeah, you're in Los Angeles. We better get these black kids arrested here. That everybody will believe it then.
Oh, he saw this. So he goes for a spiritual walk around the neighborhood.
Oh right, yeah. Lots of
sees-
things happen.
Yeah, like
And that was after this scene, right?
Yes,
He's
right
like,
after.
all right, good.
I have some thinking to do. I'm not sure.
The funny thing about your impersonation of Van Damme is like it sounds like GSP to me too. If you ever listen to GSP interviews, it's the
I
same.
am happy with my performance. I know a lot of you.
I will
are-
get the double leg and take him down. And wrestle. I will show him how to wrestle.
I caught him. I wrapped my leg around him and swept him.
I have a big diet of poutine and
I telegraph every roundhouse kick and he take everyone. I throw my punches like balls. All right.
they're very similar. It's how stereotypical like the Canadian French accent is almost. But it's weird that he's Belgian. So where did Jean-Claude get his accent from?
Van Damme for me is a little more. It's got a little bit of Jason Statham in it.
Yeah,
He's got a little bit of this.
Yeah, a little
I am happy.
mystique to it.
It's like you're running out of breath on the last word.
It's like he doesn't know if he'll make it to the last word.
I did not take enough breath to finish a sentence. Holy shit. Van Damme. Yeah, so he walks by a homeless family. And this little girl's just standing there staring at him. Just a stranger walking around wearing the same clothes he's been wearing since North Africa.
Well, and I wrote it down as spiritual journey stalking his family and random poor people.
Here, take some money.
Oh, yeah, he does give him money, right?
The mom just walks over and kind of goes,
Dear child, my name is Jean-Claude. We now know each other. It is no longer weird and strange. Here is $10. Come to my place later and give me massage. It's just like... It's the Jeffrey Epstein story.
Jean-Claude Van Epstein.
Yeah. In the story of Epstein's life, I hope Jean-Claude gets the part.
And using my American accent. All right, so now he takes this walk. He goes back to Cynthia and is like, all right, I will fight. But I have some rules. Because like he set some rules. She's like, what is with you changing all the something or like making demands? I kind of missed that part.
No eye gouging. No knees while 2 hands are on the ground. Laying out the rules of new MMA. The unified rules must be followed.
Okay.
Giant mutton chop sideburns.
So the next fight is in a parking garage, a sealed warehouse. They have one door open. They pull in what look like a dozen cars to create a car circle made of the headlights of the cars.
I was in a parking lot today. Literally, nobody could make it in the lines or nowhere to turn. It would be a melee. It would have took him hours to get that line of cars lined
No, you
up.
back up. No, you stay. Don't
Now?
move.
Now?
No,
Now?
Come on, just wait.
Yeah.
And people smoking in there.
And dude just park in the middle. He's like, I just got to run in for a minute, man. I just got to grab a drink. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Why'd you park in the door?
Yeah, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Just got to run in for smokes or a beer.
I hear now pronounced law 2648. It is now legal to park in a handicapped spot if you're just running in for smokes or a quick snack.
All right, so there's a... Yeah,
I also wanted to point out that we went through the whole clothing montage for him to wear snappy, snazzy 90s clothes. And then we go ahead to a couple scenes and he's back in that same fucking outfit that he had before. Just a slightly lighter blue. Everything's just a slight...
And short sleeves instead of long sleeves rolled up.
Was it? Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't, it was hard for me to tell.
It was like a button-up tee that he still undid the two-top buttons.
His traps were sick.
Sick traps.
What do you think, Natty or juice?
Oh, he's definitely on the
Gear?
juice. Oh, definitely on the gear. He's not natty at all. You fucking natty, bro?
Is he on the natch? What do you think? What you think? There's no doubt he's genetically gifted, but
You can get that kind of look with genetics. You can't get traps like that when you're natty.
we just assume other people are like in our chat bubble of sharing. I guess
Van
it's
Damme was definitely on something, though.
he would have had to be.
Think about it. To maintain that physique with the
guess.
amount of cocaine you're doing on a daily basis, because he had to have been doing a lot.
I guess.
I could see him in this
'cause
era doing like a ball a day to himself easily. He had the money to do it. He was a superstar.
I guess.
Like he was big
and I
in
guess
the
when you're
90s.
like if in that era of
He's trying to everyone he possibly
well,
could.
if you're in that era, you're probably like I know it sounds silly to like non-drug users in the world, but I'm like drugs are really usually dirty, like those kind of drugs, like they're cut a lot. So maybe
Well, not
if
when
you
you're
got,
like an A-list.
that's what I
celebrity,
mean.
though.
I'm
Yeah,
like, so
he's
I'm like,
getting the good shit.
I'm like, okay, you could get away with doing a lot and probably not just like ruining your life because you wouldn't have all the other cutting agents that are being absorbed
Yeah.
into your body. So I'm like, maybe it would be. Sorry, it's your
Yeah.
show. I forgot. I held that back. I'll remember next time.
let it rip, bro.
Yeah, that was sad. I disrespected you with that light belch. It's not even a burp.
So we now get a series of just kind of back and forth. He has a fight in a racquetball court where, God.
Oh yeah, all the clever fighting areas. It's like it's like Street Fighter. It was fun. What did we do? We did the swimming pool.
Racquetball court,
Racquetball
swimming pool.
court. Racquetball court was fun. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been funnier if they did some sort. I guess they did kind of bounce the guy's face off the glass and then break it, right?
He kicked him. Okay, because the guy's defense was this. He slams Van Damme against the wall.
It was basically a bear
Punches a bunch of-
defense tactics. Be big.
It's like this. Van Damme and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Van Damme telegraphs a roundhouse kick and just kicks him in the
Jean-Claude
face.
Van Damme.
And we have to point out remember Jean-Claude Van Damme wrote this story, that the way this is cut, one kick gets 4 different angles. One roundhouse kick gets 4 different angles. Ba, 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 ba. And slow-mo in every single one of them.
And a different Foley noise every time, it seems like, too. I bet you, when the Foley artist is done with, like, Van Damme, there's just a pile of, like, broken celery and, like, bamboo sticks and just snapping. Just cracking
Just
shit.
need a couple of yells there, Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
You give us a couple slow-mo yells.
There's so many of those where his back was turned and you'd hear, oh, yeah. And he's even, like, like, since we're on video, you can do he always does that, like,
The dimmuck.
he grabs the guy's arm and he's like, and that's not fast.
In the pool fight, he's holding Buddy's one arm and he's like,
He's like, it should be like he's pinching some pressure point. Would have been more believable than him grabbing because then you're like, oh, I believe he's got a nerve and he's shut him down. And then he's like, And it's like,
he's just pushing here.
yeah. And even just thinking about making fun of these movies, when we watched when we were kids, we would have immediately went out in the yard and pretended to be ninjas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was no doubt in my mind that we were. I was 8 years old.
I'm
man.
Van Damme.
My brother used to like try all these moves, the trips that Van Damme does, all the weird, wacky, knee, like one knee kicks. And
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, I got wrestling moved to death. I was the younger brother, and I got like power bombed and everything. Absolutely everything.
Okay, so
How
pool
deep were we
fight.
in this movie? We got pool fights midway
Okay,
in the movie.
I just got to make a comment about the singlets they were wearing. for that fight.
That was like a uniform, so that must have been some sort of a legit league. But even though
He's doing all underground. Yeah, like
it was.
how do people not know about this? How's this not
Well,
like
and
a
that was
story?
I'm like, is this happening right now? Like, if we were to get into the seedy underbelly of even like this town, Brandon, or go to like Winnipeg, a couple hours away, is there underground fighting? Like, is this happening somewhere? Can I watch? Like, I'm not a rat. So just let me come check it out. It's like,
I just want to see.
yeah, I just want to come see what's up. Like, is this really happening somewhere? But I guess now, and this is like pre-MMA, right? So I guess now it would just be legit. You wouldn't have like secret underground.
Yeah. Well, this is before MMA, so it's all like right.
Bloodsport.
Like
Or
MMA
it's like-
started like 90, or it's not MMA. Yeah.
Well, before
UFC
anybody
started
knew
like
about it.
93.
Well, and there's like pancration and stuff like that, and that's
I guess like Pride was
There's
probably
Pancrase.
was Pride around before UFC?
no, but there was other stuff in Japan. Like Japan was always kind of ahead on the fighting stuff, but pancration is actually like a 2,000-year-old, like a very old sport that was like Olympic wrestling kind of thing, which is what kind of started modern stuff, and that's where like some dudes went, Frank Shamrock and stuff. But
All right, so we finish the pool fight. He does another Rocky run. He meets the Legionnaires.
oh yeah, the Rocky runs.
He gets
gray
cut.
sweatpants, so we get more like dick outline. Oh yeah.
Going for a run. Next shot.
Yes. Oh, it's cold again. You got to get this shit straightened out, dude. Do your buttons up, whatever the fuck it is, man.
Figure it out, JC.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, he
Gotta
does. He
watch-
totally Rockies it. And as I said, big dick energy because he had to have those gray sweats.
Oh, just tucked up under his. It's almost like they pinned him up under his nuts just to hug it.
Exactly. Well, I would have done it too. Like, come on. Like,
Junk hugging sweats. Yeah, why not?
why not?
Cameron's 10
I
pounds.
yeah, I would totally. I'd
Got a
totally do
12-pound cock. So now we see Attila. We see video of Attila. That's where we see a Mexican random
And
test.
that's Jean-Claude thinking he's clever. He's like, Attila the Hun. I'm going to get him with my clever history references.
No.
And this guy's going to be a big, hairy... I think he is kind of like Middle Eastern looking, wasn't he? Or he's like...
Seemed like
he had
some
a
sort
weird...
of Eastern Europe or something.
Whatever. I don't know. There's some
sideburns
sort of
were Eastern
a
Europe.
definite foreigner in wrestling. As I
Yes.
said, this is reminding me of
He
wrestling.
kind of looked like Andre the Giant a little
Lots
bit.
of squash matches.
Yeah.
It was total setup for wrestling. You build him up like he's infinite, like he's
Invincible.
Invincible gets the last one, the boss fight
Yep. Final
for
fight.
the title, whatever it is, which is basically the contract for his family debt or whatever it is.
and for him, it's
and
not
that's part
dying.
and that's part of what we didn't figure out either was there was like a insurance check for the guy dying.
right.
But apparently it was a check written by those rich people who were making him fight. And then he was having to like pay for it in a fight contract. So it's just like, but it's like nothing illegal happened here. This is how the fight game works. You get an advance. And it's how like all this shit works. You get an advance and then you have to earn it back and they'll cut you or not. Just in this one, they were going to murder him with a giant man that apparently tears people into two pieces.
Fatality.
And I wish they showed us rip it because I was joking when I said he tore him in half. And then they say literally,
He held him up by his legs and started to split him on the video, and that's when they paused.
and I thought they were going to Running Man it for us where they just like, you had to split, you know, like I thought that's what it was
You
going
had
to
to
happen.
split. Sub-Zero now. Just plain zero. Okay, so this fight is full of both of them are throwing the paw punches.
Oh, yes.
Throwing the
more paw punches.
weird bent arm hooks, headbutts from the temple, looping straight hooks. No body shots. No leg kicks.
Yeah, nothing. No leg kick. Like, chop him down, bro. Like, what the And then he does it later, though, and all of a sudden kicks are just happening. So it's like, why would you not use the kicks right at the bat? And then even the big dude's plan is like, I'm just going to let this guy punch me 9,000 times.
The Homer Simpson technique. I'm just gonna let him tire himself out. And
Another
knock him
another boxcar. Yep.
down. He's not gonna get tired. You gotta knock him out.
Yeah, but he totally, like, even when we watched that, they were showing that video of him before he fought him, of Attila the Hun. He was just taking punches for like the whole thing, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, and he's like grabs him and he's like, just mountains him. Yeah, you know, just it's like, well, he's not skilled. Like, don't act like he's the greatest fighter ever. They're
He's
like,
just strong.
he's amazing. It's like, no, he isn't. He's an idiot. He just gets punched a whole bunch and can stay standing. And he's not fighting guys bigger than him, so he can just wait till they're gassed and then he squishes them. And even that, he couldn't even hurt Jean-Claude. Like, even he tired Jean-Claude out and couldn't finish him. Like, what the
because he knocked him down twice. So in this fight, Attila knocks him down. This is when Joshua gets down. He's like, he's gonna kill you, man. He's gonna kill you. Just stay down. This one I'm going, I think Josh might have put a little bit of money on Attila.
I think we knew that, though, didn't we?
They sort of alluded to it with because he was talking to
the blonde
Cynthia
chick,
at the
yeah.
bar, like, who you putting your money on? She's like, why do you ask?
And why would they be talking to each other about that kind of information, right? Like, it's just...
It was an unnecessary thing because they're friends again at the end. He's like, you betrayed me, but well, we're still pals.
I'm sorry, Rock.
I'm sorry, Rock.
I got bills to pay. Mickey's got bills to pay, too.
Van Damme's like, no, I'm going to beat him. So he gets back up there, gets another round taken up, just eating every single punch from Attila. Just boom, boom. His defenses gets knocked down again. And this is when he's like, Cynthia put all the money on Attila. She hopes that he kills you.
There's a time for him to put his arm around him and tell him
because he's still down there.
The final
first
plot,
talk.
the plot of Act 3, just to fill him in on what's happening. So just to let you know, I bet against you. So did she.
Yeah.
We want you to die. That's the only way. But if you just lose and not die, I'll split what I win with you.
50-50, right down the middle, like we said.
Oh yeah, it seems like a good time to trust you.
Oh my God!
I just because that's what happened in the last UFC title fight. The guy went down, and then his manager climbed over and just talked to him for a second in the last minute of the fight. Oh, it's so silly.
Okay, so now after this, he's like back up and at it. He's gonna kick out of this guy. Telegraph roundhouse kicks to start it off. Roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick. Punch, 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 punch. Just kicks the shit out of him, and that's it. Like he finishes him off, and then. Oh, yes, the rich guys. Okay, so Cynthia's walking out, and they're like, thanks for the advice, Cynthia.
Oh, yeah.
Just snooty rich guys laughing at her.
Activist. Activist, yes. It's just, you must be the Monopoly guy. Do not pass go. About this show, one thing I've noticed, like even when I've mentioned stuff to watch or make fun of, it seems harder to make fun of comedies because they are just funny. Like even if the Ace Ventura movies aren't technically good movies, they're funny, so it's hard to.
You still had to take up a space in my memory.
Oh yeah, for sure. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
These roads are bumpy. Can't help but do it on the smoothest road. What are you doing?
I do it all the time. Like I'll bounce around just so people that can see you in the back of the window, or we're like, what the f*** is this guy doing?
They're bracing behind you. What the f-? So yeah. So now he goes. This is
that the end of the movie?
We're coming right up on the end because now he goes to say goodbye
and my feeling of the movie was like, I didn't feel anything in that last fight.
No.
Like I felt like nothing was gained, nothing was happening.
No overwhelming.
Even like his kill shot on him wasn't. I don't even remember. You want it to be like a big down kick while he's on the ground where it's like, yeah, and you can hear his ribcage split.
He hit him onto up into the stands. He kicked him into the stands with a flying
right. After the ninth.
And then he was,
yeah.
And he kind of like broke down. And then the Legionnaires were like, all right, let's, because Cynthia goes, he's yours now. And they drag, because remember, they drag him away. And it's like the sad drag. And he goes,
oh, yeah, because it was
he looks back.
It was like the Hulk, Incredible Hulk. But it felt longer even when I rewinded. I'm like, did that just happen? And we rewinded back and watched it. I thought it was like, it felt like a minute, but it was only actually like 3 seconds. I just like, that felt like way longer, that little moment.
Why did he look back? Like, who's he looking back at? He's like, all right, we're done.
And especially considering what happens. Yeah. Like, he didn't need to look back. Because they could have just dragged him away. It's better if you just drag him away. Yeah. Not seeing anything and abruptly, right?
This is how conceited Van Damme is. He's like, I have to look back. But I need my face in the shot. And it just was.
And nobody had the heart to tell him. It's like, you wrote this and you know what the next scene is. Like, you don't need to.
This is going to be perfect.
Just in case I never see her again. But you know you're going to see her again. You already know. You don't need to do it. There's no reason. Oh,
So
Jesus.
he shows up there. They're leaving, and this is where the best performance in the entire movie comes up. Nicole, the 5-year-old, is like, "No, you can't leave.
I still can't figure what she's
no." And the two guards, the two legionnaires outside, are like, "Oh, we can't kill him now. Well, we got a hard decision to make." So they're taking him away.
The intent was to kill him?
Well, I just say
Okay,
that.
okay.
Because I thought it was
didn't-
funnier.
did I miss them doing that?
But they're gonna take him back, and so now they're all in the car together. They drive like 2 blocks away, and they stop, and they're just looking at him, and they open the door, and they're like, "You can leave."
You son of a bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Goddamn son of a bitch renegade.
You outlaw. You beautiful son of a bitch, get the fuck out of here. Enjoy your family. We'll kill ourselves,
Yeah,
don't
they-
worry.
They let him go, and for some reason, the little girl is still standing at the door, like, and her mom's like, "Yeah, she's gonna stand out there in this terrible neighborhood at midnight."
And I just have to say, because he's the end scene is him running down the block, right? Like he's like,
This is where he comes running up the hill. Cue the triumphant music.
yeah, and the
he's
kid's
just-
like, the kid's waiting on the step already, which we don't understand why that's why she's already outside the door, like expecting it. Like, did she know something we didn't? But he's running back, and it's like you just got basically released from like a really long sentence, like military prison for deserting your military. And like I would just be like, what a relief. I wouldn't just be running down the street. Like, relax a little bit. Like,
Well, my question at that point,
sprints home. You're just like, you can walk. There's no reason to run anymore.
you're 2 blocks away. It's a 2-minute walk. Well, for me, I was thinking, okay, those two guys they had to go find him. Like the military was like, go find this traitor. They find him, and they're like, hey, listen, bro, you can stay.
Yeah.
What happens to them when they show up and they're like, all right, so hear us out first.
And they were like evil through the whole movie. They were
dicks.
not good
They were
people the whole
dicks.
time. They were threatening. Oh, yeah, they were not good the whole time. Yeah, they were trying to kill him, basically.
It's like those guys are going to get shot when they get back because it seems like these people are pretty cutthroat. Well, are they going to get put in the sweat box?
And they're low-ranking members of the military.
Yeah,
so
they're
they
getting
can't
in the
like
sweat
issue,
box for sure.
They can't issue a pardon to him. So more people are going to come looking for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
Lionheart 2.
There
The
probably
Hunt for
is.
DVD.
There probably is. The other, just even saying that when I was like looking at movies, there was one that I wanted to watch, but I think I've seen it before and it's too terrible. It's called Maniac Cop.
Ooh.
And it was Bruce Campbell, but only Maniac Cop 2 was the only one that was free on Amazon, but the other ones weren't. And I was like, it feels like it should be you should watch the first one first, but who knows?
It
Maybe
might be
the
like
second
Troll.
one's
It
better.
might be like Troll 2, where there is no Troll 1.
Well, it's Bruce Campbell's in the first one too, but what I thought was like
is it newer?
No, it's like older. So that's why I thought, because it's that, like I said, the reason I got into Jean-Claude was like a Sam Raimi link, just because he was like the producer or something. I'm like,
Well, we used to
I'm
watch.
just
We
gonna
used to
press
watch
send.
the Adventures of Hercules, and then there was Sinbad, and then there was Xena. And Raimi did all those.
Did he? Okay,
he did
so-
all those, and then there was Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
So that's kind of how I got to these Jean-Claude movies, is because I just saw his producer credit on something odd. So I'm like, you can press them as a link in whatever
Yeah.
you're looking at, and you can see all the other stuff they do. And I'm like, weird. I just had no idea he did all these awful 80s movies too, like was a producer on it. Who knows what kind of input you have. You're probably, if you're a producer, you're probably just like giving money to it basically and being like management of it. I
seems
guess,
like it. You wouldn't have much creative control over
Who
it for
knows?
sure.
I know nothing of these things,
But yes, this has gotten us to the end of the movie. That was it.
Was it?
He does the dramatic run. They're reunited, and he's like, "I'm going to stay." And then it's like, "Ba-da-da," the camera shot goes up, and cue the Munich Symphony Orchestra that made the entire soundtrack for this movie,
yeah, a
with
real
the
orchestra.
exception of the No Mercy song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No Mercy.
And there was a couple other tracks layered on top of the.
Oh,
we
yes,
forgot
yes,
about that
yes.
too.
Okay,
On
this is
top.
on his second Rocky
They
run.
it's just like somebody's on the mixer and they're just like, yeah.
They forgot to bring it right out, so it's like flute music. All you hear is no mercy. No mercy.
It's like still sprinkling on the nice music on top.
Oh, so weird,
Yeah, it was stupid.
man. But that was Lionheart, everybody.
It was stupid. It was terribly stupid.
What did you real rate this?
I'm gonna. Sorry, I had this. Mine's. I had to write it down just because I'm not a professional
I'm gonna probably read mine again before I
cast of pods.
We can edit this. If
Okay.
we need to.
Okay, well, mine's not bad.
It was the blurst of time.
You stupid monkey. All right. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say Mango hasn't been meowing. I haven't heard her on the mic, but
I haven't picked her up at all.
okay. I'm going to give it 6 telegraph slow motion roundhouse kicks out of 10 overdressed fight spectators in tuxedos. Because I'd just be afraid of getting bloodstains on them all the time. I want to go to fights, but I'm going to wear dark colors because blood is a bitch.
Just reminded me of the woman at the first fight in the parking lot who got blood on her and was like looking at Van Damme going,
And I said it numerous times throughout the movie. The bad guy girl, big bad. I guess she's kind of the big bad. I guess right.
Yeah, she's the big boss.
She's not a big bad. Like in 1990, she was a fashion icon. Like I loved the outfit. She always had some crazy outfit on everyone. Exactly. I'd be like, yeah, she just whatever it was. Whoever was doing her wardrobe was great. Jean-Claude's was awful, but hers was like just popping every time. Even if it was 90s looking, it still looked good for the time. And yeah, she just. It's almost like that style has come back now. I think that's why
I
she
don't know about
looked
the full purple sequins dress.
No, I don't
not
mean
that
everything,
one,
but you can see like the influence.
The elegance.
Well, even the influence of the hair. But anyways.
And fashion is.
I don't want to give too much credit to a Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Tune into our next podcast where we talk fashion.
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 Did we get an hour?
So we're at 106.
Okay.
107. So I'm going to give this. I'm going to give it an even 5 business mullets out of 10. See. 10 paw strikes. The fighting was ridiculous.
The business mullets were just all business. They were just well done and just like a nice shape. It wasn't like out the back, but there was many of them in the crowd in those tuxedos and business suits.
There were a few.
High rolling, fight gambling going on. Someday I hope to be a part of one of those scenes.
What do you do, Robbie? I watch homeless men fight in the parkades for money.
I gamble
It's quite fascinating.
I gamble on prize fighters and underground fight rings.
Is it legal? No, not at all.
Not at all.
You better not tell anybody.
But it's not dog fighting, right? Nope. Well, you're a good person then. I don't harm any animals. No, I'm not a monster. Not a monster.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. Everyone, if you enjoyed that, hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. No, I'm not begging. Hit
this
the
is
button.
This is what YouTubers do too.
Right down here.
There's a
Because
button.
they got that thing in the corner.
There's buttons here.
In here. They'll probably put some buttons up at the end. There's one right here.
What if I hold it? Can I
Burp.
hold one?
Go
Does that
lower.
work? That's right there.
Probably right there.
You're not going to put anything on it, so I'll just look like an idiot.
I'll put something in there.
It's like the Leaning Tower thing where everybody, if I ever go to Leaning Tower, I'm not going to do it. It's just going to be a picture of me like looking the other way.
I want to be leaning against it.
Or just
one leg up like a movie
completely-
trailer or movie poster.
there was just some meme stuff where I think I saw somebody there's somebody that hangs around and ruins those pictures for people at the Leaning Tower, so I thought it'd be funner to be one of those people. But anyways, yeah.
I ruin tourist photos for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like us on Instagram. Find out the Real Garbage Podcast. Everywhere you get your podcast. This has been fun.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.
This is Real Garbage.